Hey Strong Mom Society, so continuing on with our corrective exercise series, we are going to work on posture and upper body movement. So we're going to do a lot today to train the scaps, the pecs, all of the muscles in the arms. You are welcome to grab some light weights if you want, but I do recommend that if you're just working on training these postural muscles, sometimes it's a little easier to do it without the weights. Sometimes the weights will kind of throw off our alignment, get into our lower back, things like that. So this is entirely up to you. If you're just starting with this workout, do it without the weights. If you've done it a few times and you're ready to progress, make it a little more advanced, then go ahead and grab those 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 8-pound weights, and let's train with that. The other thing that I've got is some water, and we are ready to go. So we are gonna start with what I call the lazy man's warm-up, where we are going to tap down the fascial system in the body. So what I want you to do is just start with, let's start with the abdomen, and I want you to come up through the belly. You're going to go in the direction of digestion. So up the right, across, down the left. We're going to come up into the chest. You're going to do the same thing here. And as you're doing this, you're just tuning into that diaphragmatic breath. So I want you to think, fill the ribs and belly on that inhale. Not the chest like I just did. And then I want you to come through the bottom 2 ribs. So think of those bottom 2 ribs tapping at the front, the sides, and the back. This is where your diaphragm is placed, and our bodies love that tactile feedback of just tapping, touching, rubbing in order to get things to work. Then what I want you to do is come into the lower back, give yourself some taps here, into the glutes. We're gonna go down the back of the legs, front, sides of the legs. So what you're doing is just tapping the entire fascial system of the body. And fascia, if you haven't seen it in any of my other videos yet, it's kind of like webbing or netting that sits on top of our muscles. And it runs from the top of our heads to the bottom of our feet, head into an arm. And if you've ever sat for a long time, or you've had like a sick day where you've spent all day in bed and you finally get up to move and things feel achy and creaky and like really stiff, that is that fascial system that has a buildup of something called HA that kind of makes the fascia stick together. We're gonna swipe that arm next. So as soon as you touch, tap, swipe across this system, if you're feeling that achiness, it'll relieve some of that stickiness that's built up in the fascia and get you moving again. All right, we're gonna do the other side. So all the way up and down the arm, going through those taps. Say hi to Maurice, walking through here. And then you're gonna swipe from top to bottom in that arm, and then give that arm a nice big shake. Shake out both legs, both arms. Good. All right, so if you don't have time for a full proper warm-up, that's a great way to just get things moving and get you started. So then what I want you to do is head to a wall, any kind of open space that you have. We're just gonna take a really quick upper back stretch. So I want you to put those hands on the wall, kind of in a prayer position, and I want you to just scoot them up the wall. Engage your lower abdomen, so lift that pelvic floor, think hip bone to hip bone, and then take your focus up. Take some deep breaths here. Really try to drop your shoulders down your back. Good, coming back. I want you to press one arm into the wall, turn away from it. You're gonna feel that stretch to the pec, front of the chest, other side. These muscles get so tight, and because of the weight of extra weight in our chest and our belly during pregnancy, it'll pull those shoulders forward. In postpartum, carrying, feeding, all the picking up, putting down in this position will pull those muscles forward. So anytime you walk through a door frame or come up to a wall, just try to open up those chest muscles and get a little stretch there. Okay, we're gonna come all the way down to the floor. And I want you to place your wrists directly underneath your shoulders, your hips directly on top of your knees. And if you have any wrist issues here, one, we're gonna work on some scapular engagement that will help take some of the pressure off of the wrists. But before you get there, if you need to modify and come up to fists, you're welcome to do that as well. But I want you to think of your arms as starting in the very center of your back. So your arms aren't being supported by just that weight going down into the wrists. I want you to think of the support as coming right from here, the bottom of your scap. So if you think of your shoulder blades as chicken wings, the bottom portion of the chicken wings are just kind of winging out and together. And you can also use the image of pressing your armpits down towards your hips. So from here, I want you to take what I call a scapular push-up. So we're just gonna engage those shoulders down like an over engagement. And then what I want you to do is just round through the upper part of your back. So it's not a cat-cow. A cat-cow would be full mobilization of the spine. You're welcome to do that too because it feels really good. But for these postural muscles, I want you to think over activate those shoulders down, really thinking that you've got a long neck here. Armpits to hips, engage those core muscles in, lift the pelvic floor, and then we're just gonna release into it, round through your upper back here, tuck your chin to your chest, really trying to poke up through the center of the shoulder blades. Take that one more time. We're gonna engage the shoulders down, lift the pelvic floor, wrap those core muscles, press armpits to hips, find that image of the bottom of your shoulder blades drawing together. So much of this work is about what you're thinking as well as what you're feeling, and then press into it. Are you coming to give me a kiss? Thank you. Good. So from here, we're gonna head into some shoulder taps. So set yourself back up into that quadruped position. Again, if you need to be on your fists, that's totally fine. You're gonna use your full core breathing belly pump. So you're gonna inhale, feel that pelvic floor relax. Exhale. You're not gonna go into that extreme scapular engagement that you just had, but just really subtle. You feel that activation right here at the bottom of the shoulder blades. On your breath out, you're just gonna shift your weight and you're gonna take some shoulder taps here from side to side. Now if you're on your fists, it's gonna look exactly the same. You do want to make sure, I'm getting a little in front of myself here, you do want to make sure that you've got a straight line from shoulder to wrist as you do this. But you'll feel it as you take that shift. You have to really deeply engage your core muscles. Inhale, exhale, tap. And the arm that's taking the weight, focus on that scapular activation down. Inhale, release. Exhale, and focusing on right scap down, pelvic floor lifted, belly hugging in. Inhale, let go. Exhale, left scap down, pelvic floor lifted, belly zipping up or hugging in. So as you take these taps from side to side, I don't want you to take a big shift in your body. If you have glasses of water lining your spine, as you shift from right to left, you're not gonna spill a single drop. Now I'm gonna make you think about one more thing here. If your elbows are hyperextended, I want you to rotate your elbows so they're facing one another. That's also gonna help take some pressure off the wrists and get you a little more scapular activation. We're just gonna take about 4 more here. 4, keep breathing, inhale, exhale, 3, inhale, exhale, 2, and last one, good. We're gonna come off the wrist for just a second. I want you to take some twists here. Go ahead and extend your arm and pull the thumb back towards your body. We're gonna spend a little more time on our wrists. So if you need a break or if you want to skip the next 2 exercises and just go to the next one, which is in a standing position, go ahead and do that. We're gonna build up strength in your wrists as you get more scapular engagement, I promise. So back into this position. You've got your setup. Shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. Nice big inhale to prep, exhale. Pelvic floor, lower abs engage, and then I'm gonna extend my left leg and my right arm overhead. I'm thinking about my left scap activation like crazy here in this bird dog. I'm gonna inhale through the center, exhale. Right leg, left arm, right scap engagement, rotate that elbow in if it's hyperextended, lifting through the pelvic floor and lower abdominals. Good. You're welcome to take these shifts here, working on that scapular engagement. Again, we're thinking about those scaps so much in this workout because they are an essential part of building our postural muscles. And they often get left behind in a lot of our workouts. If you want to upgrade this a little bit, you can take that extension, focus on that scap activation, and you're just going to pull, pump arm and knee in if you're ready to make this a more advanced core exercise. Now, if you're pregnant, early postpartum, you can't hold those core muscles in. You see downward pressure, coning, doming, anything like that. You're gonna make this way smaller. Maybe even it's just a reach or a lift. So you get to make the call here on what you see and what you feel in your core in order to make this a safe exercise. All right, I'm gonna switch over to the other side. Right scap engagement down, arm goes out. I'm gonna pump here. If you're not pumping, you're still continuing with those reaches from right to left or those palm lifts. And I'm gonna come off of it. Sit back, flip your palms under, point your fingertips towards you. Close your eyes for just a second. I want you to breathe down into your pelvic floor. So imagine that air is going all the way down to the bottom of the pelvis. Take a nice big release. Imagine those 3 holes at the bottom of our bodies just opening, letting go here. And then we're gonna head into our final exercise here on our wrists. You have 3 choices for modification. We're gonna head into push-ups, so I'll plant that seed first. Your first option is to do your push-ups on a wall, a chair, a bench, some kind of incline. This is if you are very pregnant or very early postpartum and you're still working on that proper core engagement. This is a safer level. You put yourself up on a wall, do some pushes, incline, bench, do some push-ups. Much better than being down below. Option 2 is to do these from your knees. Option 3 is to do them from your feet. You get to choose today. So I'm gonna start here on my knees. I'm gonna take my arms nice and wide. When you do push-ups, the muscle that we want you to feel is your pecs. Pecs are front of the chest here. A lot of people will feel this in their neck, their low back. So, even before you start, just like we did at the beginning, we did some tapping. I want you to just tap into the front of the chest here. This is what we're looking for. Now, a lot of people will talk about push-up form, where you're placing your arms. I want you to figure out where you need to put your arms in order to get this muscle on. Some people, it needs to be really wide. Some people need a little bit of an inversion with their hands. Some people want to turn their hands out. You get to choose. So for me, it's really wide. And my fingertips are just taking a little bit of inward rotation. You're gonna take your inhale to prep. So you're either on a wall, your feet, or your knees here. As you exhale, go into your core engagement. I'm lifting the pelvic floor, wrapping and zipping up the front of the body. And then I'm heading into that push. So push is all about training those upper body muscles, those pecs. The other thing that I want you to think about is your scap engagement. So you don't want to push from here. You want to elongate that spine, feel a long neck. And as you go in and out of that push, can you also think about your scap activation? Inhale, fill, exhale. Good, inhale, fill, exhale. I'm really deeply wrapping those core muscles to help with that push. And I'm gonna do one more here. Inhale, fill, exhale. Good. All right, sit back. I want you to take a quick arm stretch. Did you feel your pecs? You're welcome to email me and let me know if you had success on that one. Or if you're having trouble finding your pecs, your upper body muscles on that one, please reach out, let's talk about it. That's what I'm here for. That's what this membership is all about. Stretching those arms really quickly. We're gonna get ourselves up to standing. I'm gonna grab a sip of water before we head up there. Okay, so think about your core. Our last exercise, our last workout was posture and glute loads. So find that glute, that core engagement to get yourself up out of the ground. And we are gonna head into some flies. Now, like I mentioned, you're welcome to use weights on this one if you're ready to advance up. Otherwise, totally fine to do this with just your arms. I want you to find your hinge. We've worked on hinge and glute loads. So put your hands in your sits bones. You're just gonna think sits bones out and back, sits bones in and under. Out and wide, short and narrow. You're gonna find that position in your hinge where you can feel like your glutes are holding you up, not your lower back. That means you really want to sit back. Those sits bones are pointing to the back wall, and then adjust the height of your upper body so you're not just clenching here. I want you to really drop down in. Feel that energy from your heels up into your sits bones here. And what you're going to do is take your arms in front, and I want you to just pump them out to the sides, bending the elbows as you come up. I don't know why, but this move makes me think of a pterodactyl, just like taking off. So pulling those elbows out back, thinking of a crazy amount of scapular engagement here. You're welcome to do an exhale core engagement on every single rep. You're welcome to do it on every 2 reps. The most important thing is that you continue to breathe. You feel those chest muscles open and you really feel that squeeze at the bottom of the shoulder blades as you bring those arms up. We're gonna take 4 more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good, come out of it. Shake out those legs. That should be some glute fire too. You should feel that in your booty a little bit. Okay, second to last exercise. You still with me? We're gonna head into a deadlift with an upward row. Weights or no weights. Deadlift simply means that a squat would be, all the way down, nice and low. A deadlift is just a hinge, just like we worked on, and you're gonna feel the stretch in the back of your hamstrings. So I want you to reach your fingertips down towards the ground, palms facing your body. Open up your chest. You don't want to deadlift from here. Think of a rod on your spine from tailbone to top of the head. So as you bend forward, you're going to keep that nice and straight. And then as you stand, I want you to imagine you've got a bar. You're going to pull it up. Your elbows are going to go up, but your shoulders are going to go down. I've got a really long neck here. Finding that scap engagement in order to hold this position. So, if you had a heavy weight, you want to engage those core muscles to help support that upward row, that upward pull. So I'm going to breathe down here. I'm thinking my pelvic floor being relaxed, belly is nice and relaxed here. Exhale, pelvic floor, lower abs, scaps pull down, arrive. Careful when you arrive that you're not here, you're not jutting the ribs out, getting into the lower back. You're also not hyperextending the knees. You're gonna arrive in a position with a micro bend in those knees and the front of the ribs closed. We're gonna take 10 of these all together. Inhale, exhale, row. Inhale. Think of the pelvic floor relaxing, pelvic floor engages. Lower abs relaxing, lower abs zipping up the front of the body. Chest is open, scaps are on. I lost count because I'm talking. I think we've got 5 more. Inhale down, careful, check for that rounding in the shoulders. Exhale up. Inhale down, exhale up. Stick with me for 3 more. Inhale, exhale up, check your neck. Last 2, check that posture. If you've got a mirror, awesome. Check yourself out in that side mirror. And release. Good, shake out those arms. 1 more exercise for training these postural muscles with our full core breathing belly pump. We're gonna take a squat, and I want you to imagine that you are picking up laundry, you're picking up toys, whatever it is in your mind's eye. If you've got those weights, you can use those weights here as well. But again, if you're just starting this workout, just use body weight. You're gonna feel it, you'll be able to connect a little more. We're gonna take feet together, set at that posture, so tailbone's dropping straight down, my knees are not locked, my ribs are on top of my hips. If you've got a belly or you're early postpartum, you might find yourself here a lot. I want you to just take the bones, move them over your hips. Open the chest, find that scap engagement. That's just a start. You're gonna step out to the side in a squat. You're gonna reach down. And then all I want you to do is imagine you've got an imaginary item here and you're just gonna pull it up to your start position. Now when I come back to this return, I'm opening my chest, closing the ribs, engaging the scaps. So you're not just gonna pick up here and then return. I want you to be really intentional. We're gonna step out to the other side. Chest is open, I'm releasing here, and then arrive. Back out to that first side. Squat, driving into my heels to stand. Arrive, working on those postural muscles. Step it out, reach, relax. Exhale, coming back to proper full posture to arrive. Inhale. Arrive. Inhale, release. Don't round through the spine. Really get down low with your legs. Drive into the heels. Feel that booty to stand. We're gonna take 4 more. Inhale. Exhale. Step it out. You feel those glutes connect. Heels up the back of the legs into your sits bones. Arrive. Last 2. And arrive. And last one. And arrive. Good job. This work is more of a workout for your brain than anything else. I'm really asking you to think about coordinating a lot, and that's what this is. It's that science of looking at how your brain is sending signals to your muscles. Are those signals getting crossed? Are you training the right muscles? Let's stretch the arms. Good job today. You know, practice. That's all we can do with this work is practice, 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 because it's that practice that's going to carry us into using the correct muscles and maybe thinking about some of these things as we go through our daily lives. So don't give up. Keep moving through the series. Come back and repeat this video as often as you need. Mix it up with some of the others. And head out into the world with some better posture engagement, scap engagement, and I'll see you guys soon.